Woo! Yeah, it finally fucking worked. My God. God, Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
Incredible. Well, go ahead. I haven't done this in forever, Clint. You've done it more than me.
All right. Well, welcome to Hamityville Horror. Thank you for visiting. I'm Clint.
I am Don.
And we have got together here today for a very special purpose. We would like to discuss some particulars about a movie that I think is very close to you, Don, Return to Oz. Now, I'd like to take a minute before you really get into anything and just ask you what this movie really means to you and how it's been introduced into your life and your memory, because if I recall correctly, you've been talking about this movie ever since we started this podcast and wanting to do it. So, I mean, just kind of run through it for me. Where did this come from for you?
I mean, so, as a kid, and if you've watched the movie, which, it's kind of a cult classic at this stage in the game.
Oh, totally.
It's, when you're a kid and you see this, you see Oz. So obviously, The Wizard of Oz, I mean, all-time classic to people. Everybody knows that name. Everybody, the Wizard of Oz, Wizard of Oz, Wizard of Oz. When you hear it, you know it. Return to Oz doesn't get that, that punch that the original gets. So I ran into it kind of on accident. It was actually when Disney used to do their free weekend. They used to do, hey, you get a free preview, watch whatever you want. And they always had stuff at night that they didn't show during the day. They showed Back to the Future that was edited like shit. No, they couldn't even say butthead. I'm like, well, all right, fine. They couldn't, obviously everything else they couldn't say either.
Right.
So ran into this one night, started watching, and I just kind of fell in love with it. The characters, we'll get into that. The characters, it's so much darker tone.
Oh, totally. How old were you when you came across this movie?
Man, probably like 11, 12.
Okay.
It came out in 1985. So, I was only 2 when it was released. So yeah, no, that I'm old as fuck.
No.
I feel old as fuck. But no, I mean, after seeing it, you just kind of stuck with you. Like this was, because you see these movies and I'll take Mike's example, House 1 to House 2. They're 2 totally different movies. And Wizard of Oz, Return to Oz, 2 different movies. I mean, and it's just, it stuck with me until, now. I mean, I watched it the other day. I mean, so it's not like it's left my memory. Way to go, Amanda. Jesus, give fucking Clint a complex so he changes his name. Jesus. My God. So, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, I would say I was definitely, 11, 12 when I watched it, stuck with me, and it's a great movie. I mean, it's very well done, and as we'll get into it, it's got a hell of a cast to it. It's got some kind of big names, especially you come to it nowadays. It's like, damn, those are some high profile actors in that.
Yeah. Now this movie totally got by me when I was a kid. I did not see it as a kid. And it's probably for, I don't know, much of the reasons you're talking about. If you didn't see it in the theater, and the fact that it didn't do super well, you would have had to have seen it on like a Disney specific platform or something like that, or get it on video.
Yep.
Now my wife saw the shit out of it when she was a kid. But like, I didn't see this until like this past year. This year. So it's like this age of the game, it's like this point in my life, finally I've seen this movie. So I have a different perspective on it because I'm viewing it as an adult, but it's still, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things about it that I hope we'll get a chance to talk about.
Oh, well, speaking of which, let's
come on, don't bullshit me.
Let's get into some really good ones.
All right.
Here's one thing that people do not know.
All right.
A lot of people don't know. 1, The Wizard of Oz is 14 different books, if you can believe that.
Yes.
So the really cool thing is this is a combination of 2 of them. So because they're, and I'm sure you've done your digging. So let me
Yeah.
let you do your thing.
I saw the number at 17.
Well, I guess Frank Baum, I don't know how many were actually like written by him. I think it was 14 that stopped with him. And then it was, after that, it was all the, either rewrites or, other ones that didn't get the praise of whoever needed to, or the blessing, whoever needed to bless them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a combination of two of them.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, they did a good job. In fact, and they tell you at the end when you watch this. So that's what's kind of cool about it. But yeah, 14 fucking books.
Yeah.
Whew, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. The second and third book in the series are where the most of the plot points were taken from in order to create this story. Watching this and finding out that, just digging deep into it, it kind of makes me think that they really messed up when they did the original movie. I mean, they made that really kid friendly. They turned it into a musical. They cast somebody who was way too old to play Dorothy. You know what I mean? It took a lot of the horror elements out of it. The things that would have, creeped out kids or scared them, and things like that. So to me, it's like, I almost wish that they would have tried to stay, truer to the source material, instead of doing that, even though the 39 version is a classic and people love it.
Sure.
And one of the things that sucks, that I think hurt this movie, is the fact that is the only frame of reference that most people have, to the Wizard of Oz, anything.
Well, people say
a lot of people didn't read the books.
No, and a lot of people watch this movie and they're like, well, why is Dorothy so much? Why is she younger? It's like, well, she's not. When you go back and watch the original, with Julie Andrews, you don't understand that she's like, I don't even know how old she is.
Yeah.
Is it Julie Andrews or am I getting that wrong?
No, you're getting that wrong. That's
Mary Poppins.
Julie Andrews was Mary Poppins. Yeah.
Fuck you, Mary Poppins, for fucking me up. Fuck's her name? Somebody come on out there, Facebook. Help me out here. Haven't done this in a while. Come on. Shit. Oh,
you put me on the spot now. I don't remember.
Now somebody
Judy Garland.
Julie, yeah, thank you.
Judy Garland. Yeah.
God damn it. Julie Andrews, suck my balls. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
And she was already too old for the part anyway.
Yeah.
So then you get Fairuza Balk, who comes in as Dorothy, and it's like, wow, she's younger, smaller. Yeah, because that's how it should have been in the original, in the Wizard of Oz. So yeah, it's like everybody freaks out about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a classic. Like I said, 39 is a classic. I mean, man, we dropped like viewership. We had 5 people. I done fucked up, Judy Garland and Julie Andrews. I mean, goddamn, guys. Sorry, I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah. Well, that was 2 of the ones who were watching, Judy Garland and Julie Andrews, although I'm sure one of them is dead.
Fuck her. Pretty sure one of them's dead. Judy Garland, thank you. Fucking come back in the grave and watch my shit.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a disaster already.
No. Unlike this movie that we're going to review and talk about.
Yeah, speaking of disasters, this movie was plagued with problems from the beginning, So everything from going over production budget, having the production schedule start very slowly, having the director fired, and having to have his friends go to bat for him. Friends such as Francis Coppola, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas go to bat to put him back in charge of the production of the film. George Lucas even had to promise that if he fell behind schedule again, that he would step up and take control of the project.
Now,
and
could
they
you
could
imagine
even
that?
advertise it that it was directed by him if they did.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Totally insane. The budget really went crazy. They spent way too much on this movie, apparently, and then they ended up making a bunch of budget cuts after Disney had some new management come in. So you can kind of see where the budget cuts happened. Once you know that it took place, going into the movie. So it's like, one of the reasons that they had to film completely on like sound stages was the fact that they cut budget. One of the reasons that the Jack Pumpkinhead was not an animatronic puppet and had like static expressions on his face was budget cuts. I didn't read specifically that happened with the Scarecrow, but you can kind of guess.
Okay,
maybe it did.
We will get into that. We will get into that because that out of this whole movie, that is the second scariest motherfucker in this entire movie is a Scarecrow. Let's let's not even try to beat around the bush on that one. Whatever they did to the Scarecrow, I mean, that's the terrifying part of this movie. That's just one of many. Fuck.
All right. No. So what do you want to do? You want to get into the movie?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Right. Let's do it. So, I mean, again, sequel to Wizard of Oz. So when they open up the movie, they're rebuilding their house. And, you know, Dorothy's like, basically, oh my God, you know, I've been to Oz and this is why I'm not doing anything. It's why I stay inside all day. And, you know, NEM's like, get your fucking ass outside and go do something. You can't stay in the house all fucking day. You know, or her uncle's hurt. You know, he's not finishing the house up. You know, the fucking hen that they have, Belina, is not laying any eggs. I mean, total fucking disaster. Just, you know, it's just starts off with just horribly. Yeah. So she finds a key and she's like, oh, Oz. Now, Dorothy, what the fuck were we talking about? Oz doesn't exist. But Annie M, look at this key. Bitch, it's to the old farm. Shut up. So, you know, goes back upstairs, looks in the mirror. It was going to be I was trying to get Emma Ridley to be on this episode with us, the lady that plays Ozma.
Oh, sure.
But she just got over the flu and she's, you know, Thanksgiving and everything, but she wants to be on here. So, yeah, so we'll obviously, you know, talk about her because she's amazing in the movie. Little that you see her. But you know, see her in the mirror. Then, you know, they're talking about, okay, so here comes horror element number one. And I want everybody to go on Amazon and look at this, because if you look at the subject, it is horror, and it's got your word, bleak, dark, fuck. It doesn't have fuck, but with those three, you're like, damn, like, much this the same movie? Is this the same universe? So yeah, Dorothy is going to go to basically a crazy house and get electroshocked.
They grow increasingly worried about her because she's not sleeping at night and then therefore not helping around the farm. She's still having these delusions about Oz, which they think is concerning, you know, so they don't even have the money to help her. They have to like borrow money from a family member to take her to this doctor. And what is it? Dr. Worley?
Dr. Worley.
Okay.
Dr.
So yeah.
Worley, who is played by Nicole Williamson. And if anybody knows that name, which I do because Exorcist 3 is one of my favorite fucking movies ever. He plays Father Morningstar. And he also plays Cagliostro in Spawn later on down the road. So
how about that?
Yeah, man. So love that guy. And his assistant is fucking Gene Marsh. Like, again, like we already talked about, it's two stars right there. I mean, Mav Mortar from Willow, and you know, like we talked about on a couple episodes ago with the Changeling. That's George C. Scott's wife in the beginning of the movie. So I mean, it's this movie's not lacking star power. It's really not. You know, and again, Fairuza Balk is Dorothy, and she goes on to be in one of my favorite horror movies, The Faculty. You know, so I mean, she's in The Craft. Yeah. So I mean, it's like, you know, again, it's got some stars in it. So yeah, so Dorothy's not doing shit because she's tired. So yeah, they're gonna take her to this institution to shock the shit out of her, so she doesn't remember anything about Oz. And I love how the doctor explains it. Like, here's my scary ass machine. This must be his eyes. This is his nose, and this is his mouth. Dude, I don't give a fuck what you explain or how you explain it. That is some scary looking shit. Okay.
And did you notice how he had to like wind it up?
Yeah.
Certain parts of it.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, they're foreshadowing things that you're going to see in the film, and then they draw it back together at the end, which I thought was really cool because they kind of did that in the first one.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's definitely one of the things that, you know, you can kind of get up and walk away and come back and not be totally lost. But if you see the little, like you said, a little foreshadowing as you're watching it, it's cool because, like you said, the first one does it too, like with the Scarecrow, Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion. You know, so yeah, so you know, the doc explains that this is what we're gonna do. You know, they tell her you're not gonna need your lunch pail here. You know, you can lay down. You know, take a nap if you want. Bitch, you just showed me this creepy ass fucking machine. You're telling me I'm gonna get shocked, and you want me to take a nap? Take a nap if you want to. Probably not happening. So this is where we get a little girl that is, you know, trying to help Dorothy. You don't find out till later on who she really is. But you know, she's there. She's got a pumpkin. So again, foreshadowing. So yeah, I mean, it's you know, and this is when like the horror elements really kick in because Dorothy gets, you know, strapped down to a gurney. She gets taken to the room. You know, they're about to put the look like headphones, basically.
Yeah, that was the only part to me that I was gonna nitpick because, like, you don't put electroshock paddles on somebody's ears. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what they did.
Oh, they were 100% going for it.
Also on your temples, right? You know what I mean?
It's like let's just kill her now. I mean, she won't remember Oz or be able to fucking hear. Cool. Yeah. So basically they get her set up to get ready to do everything, and the power goes out. And again, this is where shit gets just fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
You know, they escape, her and the other little girl escape. You know, they run into Jean Marsh. I can't remember what her fucking character's name is. I'm sorry, Jean Marsh. You're dead too.
Nurse Wilson.
Thank you. You know, they run away, and I tell you what, I will give her credit because they're running through the woods. She's running right after them. They jump in the water. Man, she jumps right the fuck in the water with them. Like, I'm gonna get these little bitches back. Well, they go, and they go floating up the stream. She's like, God damn it, no! Reaches out, doesn't make that much of an effort after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then this is where the whole movie goes.
She probably couldn't swim.
Apparently, nobody could.
A lot of people couldn't in those days.
Yeah, it was not. It wasn't like a, you know,
because this was like set in like 1899.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's like that's not exactly a pastime if everyone is learning how to swim in currents.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then, you know, then we get really the start of the entire thing in Oz. You know, Dorothy manages to bust open a fucking cage or bed frame or something. Little girl is completely gone. Dorothy's you know, floats up, and she's winds up being in a desert. Oh, and let me make sure we mention this too. So there's Toto's in this movie for like total like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't get Toto. You get Belina the hen.
Yeah.
Talking.
Now she
hen.
talks. Yep.
It's creepy as fuck. The animatronics or whatever they did to this thing is creepy as fuck.
That's where some money got spent. I can tell you that. I mean,
that
is a very realistic moving animatronic.
It is
chicken. I mean,
and Clint's not being sarcastic. It really is
super convincing. Yeah.
It's legit. It's 100% legit.
And I came to find out that during the production of this, whenever they needed like a chicken that wasn't connected to wires and so forth, they had up to like 40 different chickens that all kind of looked the same to play the part of Belina. So, and they all like had different jobs. So like they'd keep them in these, you know, cages, and they'd say, well, this one's to perch, this one is to be carried, you know, this one will run at you, you know what I mean, more or less. So like they had different chickens that kind of looked the same for different jobs. Like in this, they had like 40 chickens they used for this. So,
that's awesome.
Anyhow, didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
There's 40 different cocks in this movie. Cool.
Hens, sir.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, so then you get one of my favorite characters in the movie. This little dude that rolls around these stones. That all he is eyeballs and a mouth and a nose, and he's pretty much a spy for the antagonist of the movie, the Gnome King.
Oh.
you know, and it's all it is he's just a face on a rock, and he just tells Gnome King shit, you know, hey, she's returned, but she has a chicken. He makes very damn sure that he tells him that she has a chicken.
Yeah.
And you'll find out why later on down the road, because it's really cool that they never ever say why until the very fucking end.
Yeah, they really fucked him up, didn't they? He's like, a chicken.
Yeah, a chicken. Like, holy shit! Like, why is this chicken here, and why is it a big deal? So, and this is one of the cool parts too. So they go out, and there's lunch pails on a fucking tree, just just hanging there, like
it's a lunch pail tree.
Yeah, lunch pail tree.
Why not?
And then Belina just says, "Make sure you don't pick a green one." Bitch, they're all green. They're all fucking green. Yeah, it's cool that they threw that in there, but you know, Dorothy grabs one, and she's like, "Oh, here's a fucking ham sandwich."
Yeah, she's like, "At least it wasn't fried chicken."
Yeah, at least it wasn't fried chicken. Mind blown on the. Anyway, yeah. So, so they. So let's backtrack a little bit. So here's a part that was never in the original. So apparently, when they land, or however they get to where they're at, Dorothy is hell bent on letting Belina know that this is the Deadly Desert, which was never mentioned in the first one, ever. Don't throw anything alive on it. You'll find out why a little later, but I'll go ahead and tell you now. It's called the Deadly Desert for a reason, because anything that touches it that's alive turns to sand. Where was that in the original?
Right.
Non-existent.
Right.
So anyway, so they wind up going down the yellow brick road, which is all fucking trashed. It's, you know, looks like, you know, Route 66 construction. You know, it's just all tore up. So they get to the Emerald City, which is no longer emerald. It looks kind of fucking barren. And you see all these people that are turned to stone, and two of them, one is the Tin Man, who clearly went through some plastic fucking surgery reconstruction, because he looks like a fucking joke. Like, yank him right out of the comics. Like, compared to the first one, it was like, whoa, what the fuck happened to him? And then you see the Cowardly Lion, and it's like, that's fucking freaky. Like, the puppetry in this movie is fucking weird. It's fucking bizarre. And we'll get to the Scarecrow later. But yeah, so you see, you know, all these residents are made of stone. And you see these women holding hands, and they have no fucking heads.
Yeah, yeah. This scene kind of put me in mind of like pictures of like the excavation of like Pompeii, you know what I mean? The freaking volcano disaster, and they find all the ash bodies, you know what I mean, just frozen in their last act. That's kind of like what this was, you know, just these like stone, like living beings. So like anything that was alive turned to stone at whatever this event was, you know, frozen in their last act, which was just creepy as hell.
Oh, and then you got to just you know, add to that, you got Beware the Wheelers,
right?
Spray painted on there, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is a wheeler? What is that?"
Yeah.
Well, you find out soon enough. And
enter the punk rock portion of this.
You ain't lying, brother. You ain't lying. These motherfuckers come screeching in with faces on their head, and then their face. So they got like their face up here, face down here, and it's fucking freaky. They got wheels for hands. Yeah. This is like the equivalent of the flying monkeys in the first one.
Sure,
is what it reminds me of. Like, because there's so many of them, and they're just freaky, and they sound like raptors. One of them's like, "Car, car," like on the fucking thing. Like, what the fuck was that? Are you a bird? What the hell was that?
Yeah.
So basically, you know, they tell her that you stole a lunch pail. Go fuck yourself. We're gonna rip you apart. I'm like, how are you ripping her apart with your fucking teeth? Yeah. Like, now you're really creepy.
Yeah.
So they run. They go down this corridor, and they're trapped. And then Dorothy's like, "Holy fuck, I got a key. Holy fuck, there's a keyhole." Two and two together, click, click, boom. Opens it, closes it.
I think Belina told her to do that.
Yeah, it's like, "I tried a key, Dorothy." I mean,
the voices are really bringing this to life.
I mean, I hope so. I'm fucking trying here, okay? I'm trying here. So,
oh, and then they stand outside. They're all creepy. They're like, "They gotta come out sometime.
you gotta come out sometime." Like, fuck these guys. No, it's fucking. I'm staying this motherfucker as long as I can. I'm just saying.
Right.
So yeah. So, then they run into.
That's where they find TikTok.
TikTok, the Royal Army of Oz.
Yeah.
Who is a short, stubby, fat little robot. And like Clint alluded to earlier. So it's cool because when the doc was showing her the machine, you had to wind up certain parts of it.
Yeah.
Well, TikTok has that. You have to wind up his thinking. You have to wind up his movement and his speaking. So it's all part of the game here. So wind him up. He's like, "Who the fuck are you?" "Oh, are you Dorothy Gale?" "Yup." "Okay."
Yeah.
So introductions are over.
Yeah. And it turns out that the Scarecrow, who became the leader of Oz, or the King of Oz, after the wizard left, had placed him there to wait for her once the city was under siege. Yep. So just to put you in the timeline, that's where we are. He's been waiting all that time.
Well, I got Clint here with me. Clint knows. I'll do the voices. He can keep me going. Fuck it. So yeah. I mean, it's you got the Royal Army of Oz. What'd you say?
Now that I'm reading the comments.
Oh, spoiler alert! If you haven't watched this movie,
you had plenty of time to see this movie. Come on,
get the fuck out of this live. Go watch it. It's getting spoiled. So yeah, they come up with a plan. They open the door. Basically, all the plan is that TikTok's just going to beat the fuck out of these wheelers with this lunch pail. And, basically, I guess, get the leader. And it's like, "Motherfucker, you're going to tell me what the hell happened here, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, damn, this robot is going to fucking murder this wheeler. And then a name comes up. Two names come up. The Gnome King and Princess Mombi. Now, again, none of these people were in the first one. You don't know anything about them. Not a goddamn thing. So basically, they wind up going to Mombi's castle, which is fucking insanity. As soon as they walk in, it's like fucking glass fucking everywhere. It's just, it's a window washer's worst nightmare. And it would be a good Windex commercial. But absolutely. I mean, so they roll in there, and this bitch is jamming. I mean, jamming on this ukulele. Just fucking just. I'm like, God damn. She took lessons, even though nothing was really happening. But anyway.
Could have been a mandolin, but all right.
Ukulele mandolin,
I like it better.
Either way, I mean, she was rocking the shit out of whatever it was.
Yeah.
She was rocking it.
She was.
Best cape that I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. Made of like wind chimes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, damn. Okay. And she's like, walks up, she's like, "Help me to rise." "Bitch, I don't know who you are. I ain't helping you do shit." So of course helps her. They go over everything, what happened to the Scarecrow. Fuck that guy. We got rid of him. He's an asshole. And then she's like, "Let me," she doesn't say, "Let me."
Verbatim.
She doesn't let, I mean, yeah, it wasn't verbatim. It was. How it went.
Oh, you're paraphrasing? All right.
Why this fucking much? And then I can't remember what she said. She doesn't say, let me slip into something more comfortable, because that would have been more sexual than.
She said, "Let me put on something more appropriate."
That's what I thought. Yeah. See, God damn it. Clint's got it. He's got
trying.
Got me. So they walk down this hallway, and all you see is fucking heads. Just heads. So yeah. Fuck. Creepy as shit. She's like, "I'm gonna number 13 seems to be really appropriate today." Takes the one head off, puts the one head on, and nobody fucking, thinks anything of it. This bitch just took her fucking head off. At that stage, I'm running. Don't care. She just stands there with a thumb in her ass, like, "Just gonna watch her do this." Okay. Might as well. So then she's like, "Oh, well,
this goes."
Yeah, basically, right? Basically calls Dorothy ugly as fuck. She's like, "Not so pretty yet." She's like, "I'll just put you in the fucking tower and When
Yeah,
you're old
yeah.
enough, I'll cut your head off. She's like, I believe you will not. Fuck
Well,
you, bitch, we're
yeah.
going.
Her head needs to get bigger. She needs a few years.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. So, and this is where one of TikTok's biggest flaws comes in. He runs out of his movement and just fucking has to stand there.
Yeah. Well, we forgot to talk about the fact that he beat the fuck out of the Wheelers.
I said he beat the shit out of Wheelers.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Come on now. Keep up, my man.
All right. And
he interrogated.
He said, "Oh, my action ran down. Guess that took more than I thought."
Yeah. Because all he's doing in the Wheelers is just fucking spinning around like, cool.
Hitting him with a lunch pail. So and this kind of solidifies here to me that Dorothy either isn't scared of anything or is just like so curious she just wants to know what's going to happen next, because she never seems to get really freaked out by anything. And whenever something bad is happening, and somebody apologizes for the fact that they can't do anything to help, she's like, don't worry about it, there's nothing you can do about it right now.
It couldn't be helped. It couldn't be helped. Are you fucking serious?
That happened at least twice in this that I can tell, where she's being locked in that room, and later on when it seems like she could possibly be falling to her death, she's like, don't blame yourself, everything's fine, like it couldn't be helped. She's just not afraid of anything is my conclusion. Like like she doesn't believe this is real.
I'm gonna go with that, and I guarantee you at some point or another, these people in Oz are like, will you stop fucking coming here? Every time you come here, people fucking die or some fucking terrible shit happens. Just stop. Keep your ass in Kansas.
Yeah.
So, so to Clint's point, one of those times, TikTok's like, fuck, I can't do anything. She's like, it can't be helped. Okay. Could have just fucking ran when she took her head off. But all right. Yeah. Take her up steps, throws her in a room. And this is where we meet probably one of the freakiest fucking things, whatever you want to call them, in any movie I've ever fucking seen. Jack Pumpkinhead. Like 9 feet fucking tall. A pumpkin for a head. It's trust me, the name doesn't leave anything to imagination. This motherfucker is Jack Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
He was basically created by, was it Scarecrow or was it his mom to scare Mombi away?
Well, he spent a lot of time talking about his mom.
Yeah.
So I think that was.
I think it was. Yeah. He got brought to life with Mombi's powder of life, which we'll
yes.
get into here in a couple minutes because that'll play kind of a role.
Yeah. And just a side note, it's been theorized recently that perhaps Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas was inspired by this, in part, specifically the character you're talking about, Jack Pumpkinhead. And I couldn't find a lot of source material to actually confirm that. But if you read the trivia on IMDb, they say
I wouldn't be surprised.
They say there that it was confirmed.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, the lankiness of him, the way that he's, the way he looks compared to Jack Skellington. I mean, Jesus Christ, Jack Pumpkinhead, Jack Skellington. I mean,
they claim that Tim Burton confirmed it. So
okay, well,
take that however you want.
Right.
According to IMDb, it's true.
And I'm cool with that. I mean, and I wish this movie would have got a lot more spotlight, kind of like that. If it influenced Nightmare Before Christmas, that's a huge push on this. I mean, think about that. One of the most successful Disney movies / Tim Burton movies ever come out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you get inspired by Jack Pumpkinhead, I'd call that a fucking win.
Yeah.
Hands down. So yeah, so
she helps put Jack back together.
Yeah, because apparently he's fucking falling apart. I don't know what he was doing, but his arm fell off, his leg fell off. I mean,
yeah.
Probably humping that gump that we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Held together with rope. Talks about the powder of life. Suddenly, Dorothy has an idea. She is like the mad scientist.
I know, and she's like, "Let's come up with this. This is why they don't want that bitch in Oz, because she's fucking nuts."
Yeah.
She's fucking fuck the wizard. Mm-hmm. This bitch is crazy. She's like, why don't we go get the powder of life? Fuck, fly out of here. Like, on what? please explain on what? Well, there's a couch there. There's a fucking head of something right there, of a gump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, it's in the powder of life is in Mombi's. What is it?
One of her
Number
cabinets.
31. Her
31?
original head.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, go for it.
I also read in the trivia that 31 was the room number that Dorothy was in the facility where she was about to get electroshocked, and Mombi's original head was in cabinet 31. So, and that's also where the powder of life is. So,
it's my man doing the research.
So yeah, so she needs Jack Pumpkinhead to basically reach his lanky ass stick arm out the window of the door and unlock it, because somehow it's only held with a simple latch and not a key.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, which is convenient, you know, but it works for the story. I guess.
Anybody else find his hands fucking weird? Like he's like what the fuck? What is that?
They were pretty creepy.
They were creepy as fuck, man, and they move pretty fuck. I can't lie, they move pretty good.
He articulated really well.
Yeah, he was definitely going to be a 79-point articulating figure if he ever came out. Yeah, so Dorothy's like, I'm going to go down there by myself. Now, keep in mind, you got TikTok, you got Pumpkinhead, you got Belina, but I'm going by myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she wants TikTok back up and sends him back up with Jack. To basically assemble the abomination that she invented in her brain.
Yeah.
While she goes to perform her Mission Impossible task, you know, of slipping into Mombi's bedroom to try to get the ruby key, right?
Yeah. So again, this is probably the freakiest part of the movie.
This is the creepiest goddamn scene of the whole fucking movie. And,
absolutely.
And it sticks in my mind, and it's probably my most loved scene. You know, having just recently watched it, I mean, this is it. This is the money shot, man.
Yep.
Is this scene?
Yep.
You know.
Now, did you notice that she was snoring and she had no head?
No, I didn't. But now that you mention it, is that noise coming through her neck? Maybe.
You know what? You or Mike can figure it out.
You know, she shouldn't have had any vocal cords. You shouldn't have been able to hear any snoring.
You go back and listen.
Nasal passages. That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure that shit would have just been like,
we should.
Like, if it was coming out of her fucking neck cavity, that shit sounded way too localized.
Or heard the gurgles of her stomach. Like,
yeah,
maybe
like a death rattle.
Like just like a bubbling sound, you know?
Like, yeah, and she was full-fledged just sawing logs. Like,
yeah. No.
What?
I think you're right. Now that you mentioned it, like, that totally went over my head. It
was brought to my attention. And I'm like, that's fucking true. She's sawing logs and she ain't got a fucking head. How is this happening?
Oh my.
So anyway, so that kind of alludes to what Clint was saying, the money shot of the movie. So she's laying there sleeping with no head. She's got the ruby key tied around her wrist. So Dorothy's, you know, ever so slightly. Yeah, first of all, fucking, I got a ribbon on my wrist and somebody even touches it, I'm going to freak the fuck out. I'm going to feel it. But, you know, with no head, I don't know how that works. So
right.
Anyway, so Mombi rolls over. She leaves the key there. She grabs the key. So Dorothy goes down this. Now, again, this is a hallway full of fucking heads. So she rolls down, goes to number 31. Now, this is Jean Marsh's head. This is Nurse Wilson, just so everybody knows, because everybody's got to be, you know, in this movie somehow. So this is Jean Marsh, Nurse Wilson's head. So she unlocks it, puts her hand in there, knocks this little thing over. And then this bitch just goes into full fucking yell mode, scream mode.
Oh, yeah.
And all the heads wake up and they start screaming.
All the heads start screaming.
Fucking absolutely terrifying. And then what makes it even worse?
Goddamn
headless
body
just the head
bolts just straight upright.
Stands up like boom, like
what the fuck?
Whoa. Slow your fucking roll here for 1 second. Now again, and this is a narrow hallway that Dorothy's in anyway. But all these heads are screaming. She gets powder life, runs. The whole time it's showing this headless bitch just there. And it's terrifying. The way she's moving and shit, it's like, this is not okay. This is fucking me up. And as a kid seeing this, I was fucked up. Hell, even as an adult seeing this, I'm like, I really don't like where this is going. So Dorothy just fucking hits fifth gear, runs up the steps. She's like, God damn, this bitch is coming up here. We got to do something. She's like, y'all ain't even done yet. What the fuck? What did you expect?
Yeah.
You got fucking you got a couch. You got what? Leaves from a fucking plant. You got this gump antler head.
Yeah. Turns out, TikTok just can't think.
TikTok goes fucking crazy and tells Jack to tie his fucking legs together and jerk him off and all this other shit. And Jack's like, okay, I don't know what the fuck happened to TikTok, but he's fucked up.
She had to rewind his thinking, which is why the project went sideways after they, and why it wasn't.
I wish
done.
People had that. I wish there was some people that had that on their back.
Son of a bitch, I wish I did.
Like, God, stop fucking talking. Stop fucking thinking. I'm not winding you back up. So she wants TikTok back up. He's like, man, what happened? Like, that's got to suck. Like, just going crazy and being like, I don't even remember what happened. So Dorothy gets the powder, pours it on. She's like, it's not working. Jack's like, you got to say the fucking words. Like, all right, sorry, I haven't done this before. So she's like, oh, we-og, T-og, P-og. And, the gump comes alive. I did just watch this not that long ago, but I would have remembered those words anyway. Again, I want everybody to remember this thing is constructed of basically a deer head, a couch, and leaves from a plant. Outdoor they go, off the balcony they go. They're plummeting to their death, and they just, Gump decides he's going to learn how to fucking fly. Motherfucker can't turn. He tells did you notice that? He says this multiple times. Fuck the flying, I can't turn.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't just fly straight then. Fucking fly straight. So Mommy busts in and like, God damn it. And you notice she wasn't even like really bothered. She just goes back to fucking playing the mandolin. Okay.
Yeah, put that other head back on.
Yeah, like cool. Cool. So this is kind of like the midpoint of the movie. So they're flying, it's foggy and
a convenient way to get past the desert that kills everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jack is absolutely just hell bent on calling Dorothy mom. Yeah, says it multiple times. Well, can I call you mom even if it isn't so? No, you creepy fuck. You can't. You're a giant fucking pumpkin. No, you cannot call me mom. But she's like, yeah, you can call me mom. Oh, thank God. So, obviously, with the time that they had, they still couldn't tighten this fucker together. And the rope starts slipping. It shows it real quick. It's like, you hear that. And then she wakes up and like, holy fuck, what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, fucking Jack's holding this, and then his fucking head falls off.
That's what happens when you let Jack do all the work. See, TikTok was in the freaking army. He ought to know how to tie knots, for Christ's sake, But the knots fail because he had Jack do it.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. So anyhow, you're
right.
His head fell off.
So the whole time they're arguing about like, oh, there's too much weight. Well, let's throw TikTok off because he weighs the heaviest. I'd have thrown Jack's ass right the fuck over there if he'd have said that. Bye, Jack. Boom. Little asshole. Fucking say that shit. Worthless fuck. You're the one that tied the knot, you dickhead.
Yeah.
So basically all hell breaks loose. The fucking, the couch just busts apart. And this is yet another thing. Now, again, I want to reiterate with her getting captured and she says it can't be helped. Okay. You fucking didn't wind TikTok up. But when the asshole that fucking tied the knots, that was holding it together, let's go, that's your fucking fault. That's on you. So saying, sorry, it's okay, Jack, it can't be helped. Fuck you, dude. Hold on to the rope. You're not going to get tired. You're a fucking scarecrow, basically. You have wood for arms.
Right.
So you can hold on to that for like infinite amount of time, but no, fuck it. Oh, I gotta save mom. It can't be helped. The fuck you can't. Anyway, so they land on a mountain. Now, and I just want to let everybody know that the sofa lands and then Dorothy lands. So what would have happened there is Dorothy's spine would have went through her asshole up to through her head, because the velocity that she hit, if you watch her, she's like, God damn. Like, boom. It would have been like a fucking reverse
He
slinky.
would have accordioned, yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
100%. Would have looked like something out of Saw.
Yeah. But this is Oz. The physics
yeah.
work different here.
I guess so, man. Yeah, I guess.
And apparently it took 11 takes to do that sofa drop scene.
Yes, yes. So. Which I guess they got it. That was their best one. Was the one that looked like she was having a fucking aneurysm, like But yeah, so then she lands, and then Jack lands doing a split. His fucking head lands upside down. And you know, the only safe one is Belina, who can fucking like fly. Then the Gump hits, and TikTok does some weird spinning, fucking digging into the ground. The only one that lands like that. He's like, "Help me up, help me up." And it's like, "Motherfucker, you weigh 5,000 pounds. How the hell am I going to help you up?"
Yeah.
Well, Dorothy must, again, like Clint said, the physics in Oz must be different because Dorothy's fucking super strong. She's like, "Oh, get out of the fucking rock."
She just hulked his ass up.
Yeah, man. Fucking right. So,
yeah.
And again, didn't really bring it up because it's not really too important, but the whole time they're being spied on by a little dickhead that goes back and tells the Gnome King everything.
Oh yeah. Rock creature dude.
Yeah. So he's like, "What the fuck was that?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, why don't you go find the fuck out?" You know? Like, that's the stupidest part of this movie right there. Like, he's like, "What is that?" "I don't know, Your Majesty." Bitch, go find out. You go to other fucking rocks. You're on there on the mountain we're fucking live in. Go.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, Dorothy's on the fucking mountain." Like, oh shit.
And he's like, "Where's the chicken?" I didn't see the chicken.
And I didn't see the chicken. Yeah. Now, this is when they go back to Mombi, and we find out that the Wheelers work for Mombi.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Guess where we're going? To the fucking Gnome King's castle."
Yep.
So y'all gonna get strapped up like fucking sledding dogs, and we're going. So yeah. So, and we actually find out a little bit earlier that the Deadly Desert kills people that fall into it because a Wheeler just hits it and turns the sand and his fucking face crumbles. Terrifying, by the way. Fucking terrifying. Looking. Awesome. Yeah, fantastic looking, but terrifying nonetheless. So, asshole goes down, tells Gnome King that, "Hey, Dorothy's on the mountain. What are we doing?" So not only have these people fallen once already, now they fall again. Like, shit. They only fell from the fucking sky, then they're going to fall again.
Yeah.
So then you get to see the Gnome King, who is voiced by Nicole Williamson and is played by him as you see him transform. So basically, you kind of get the backstory of everything. He took over Oz because when Dorothy left, the ruby slippers fell and he got them. So that was what was able to give him the power to take over Oz and tell the Scarecrow to go fuck himself. And here we are. And now we get to play a game. Now we get to play cool games now.
Yeah.
The Scarecrow shows up for one split second, which is fucking terrifying the way that they show it. Like fucking Dorothy falls on him, the fucking lights are flashing. It's like, "Dorothy!" Bang! Like, holy shit, I got epilepsy with that scene. Like, what just fucking happened?
Yep. And the setup in this particular part just shows what a dickhead the Gnome King really is. Because he basically compels them to play this game and gives them zero choice into whether or not they get to play. So because the other option is go down into my fiery hellhole pit here. You know what I mean? So I was like, you want to play a game? Cool. Let's play. So and this is where you get to see like some of the cool effects, where they did like claymation and so forth, with the whole cave, and like it looks like a bunch of arms,
look like an asshole.
Yeah. There was some inconsistency in the effects here because like the Gnome King started out as like a claymation type looking creature, and then gradually morphed into the live actor with a bunch of makeup on, and even the makeup was a little inconsistent. So like he had more makeup on when you first saw him, and then he became more like pronounced where there was like less makeup on, and it just looked like they kind of just like grayed him up a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And but he was still wearing like the stone slate looking clothing and so forth.
It was definitely
so
that's I think this is where your budget was.
I think there were some budget cuts that caused them to have to make some decisions that made this look a little inconsistent, because everything else, I mean, was done super.
I mean,
super
and you
well.
know what? And I'm not even going to sit here and say, and I know you're not either. You know, with
No.
what they had, this movie
was
turned out
great.
pretty fucking awesome.
No, this was great. You know, I'm only nitpicking looking at it now. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean,
oh
but
yeah.
like a kid seeing this, you wouldn't have batted an
Wouldn't
eye.
have- yeah, it
You know,
wouldn't have
this
given a
was
shit.
amazing looking for the time that it was made.
Yeah, yeah, and even like as an adult, you know, it's like you point out everything because obviously, you know, doing the podcast, you see it with a better eye. But even still, I mean, for 1985, I mean, shit, there's movies that are later made, and it's like that looks like total shit.
Right.
So yeah, so like Clint said, they get forced into playing a game, and you actually find out that you know he kept a scarecrow alive to lure her there, and then he changes him into an ornament. That's what he calls them, as ornaments. So they each get a turn. You know, the Gump goes, Jack goes, TikTok goes, and basically what they do is they go in this big room of knickknacks. Basically, they put their hands on them and they say Oz.
Yeah,
and
if they get 3 attempts,
three attempts, yep. And if you don't get it, you turn on an ornament. So, and again, you know, kind of forces them to do it. So they go through it. Obviously, you know, comes down to Dorothy, but TikTok's pretty fucking smart. So he tells, you know, he doesn't say anything. He just stands there, and you know, the little asshole dude tells Gnome King, "Hey, TikTok, stop guessing." And you know, Gnome King relays the message: "Your army of Oz is stopped guessing." She's like, "Well, I think his action ran out." It's like, "Why don't you go in, and you can take your turn?" So he faked him out. He was like, "I'm still good. Just act like you're you know winding me up."
Yeah.
So actually, a pretty good idea. So he's like, "Well, now I'm gonna pick something, and you can see what I turn into." Well, that fucking plan goes completely.
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
You get epilepsy again. So, you know, fucking, he's like, Oz, and the fucking flashes, and she's like, well, I didn't see a goddamn thing. So now you're really fucked. So, and like Clint said, as people, as they're guessing wrong, he's becoming more human because it's less people that are a threat to him. And if Dorothy doesn't pick right, it's game over.
Yeah.
So, of course, she gets through her 2 guesses, and then she's like, fuck it. I'm spinning around. And I got to tell you, man, that spin.
That was really weird.
That was fucking weird.
You know, spins in a circle like she's getting ready to play pin the tail on the donkey. You know, got her eyes shut and just like blindly wading through until she picks something up.
I mean, balls to the wall spin. Like, damn.
Yeah.
And then she picks up this thing, and you know what's really weird is I don't know what compels her to not do it. She like picks up the thing, and then she looks over, and it's like, okay,
right.
What? Just because it's okay. So she picks up this thing, and she's like, okay, fuck that. She looks over, and it's like a big green.
Looks like an emerald. Yeah.
Looks like an emerald. So she's like, cool, Oz. Here comes a fucking scarecrow. That son of a bitch. Weird looking Marlowe puppet. Sorry, Marlowe Furniture used to have puppets that were terrifying, and that's what that reminds me of. But yeah, so got Scarecrow back. So she's like, anything that's green, probably going to be it. What would have been funny is if it was like a red herring. It's like, that was just a one-off. Was him. Like, fuck you, Dorothy. Thought you were going to outsmart my ass. So anyway, yeah, they go and they keep going and they keep guessing. So they get Jack back. They get the Gump back. The Gnome King's like, oh, well, by this time, Mombi's already showed up. And she's like, hey, I'm just letting you know Dorothy Gale's on the way. And fucking, he's like, bitch is here. She's guessing. And she's probably going to be dead in about 2 minutes. And that's when she starts guessing, right? So Mombi's like, fuck it, I'm leaving. He's like, nope, you're going to get put in a cage magically. Boom, done, cage, fuck you. So then everything goes completely apeshit. And like Clint was saying, this is probably where a good chunk of budget went. Because this shit looked awesome. When they're running through and they got basically these gnomes that are coming up in claymation. They're pretty fucking terrifying. Again, as a kid, you're seeing this like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So Gnome King's like, fuck that. We're not guessing no more. Y'all fucked up.
Yeah, I'm tired of playing games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time to kill you.
He just comes up like fucking like a final boss from a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck, dude, what the hell happened here? So he's like, fuck it, I'm eating all y'all. Like, damn, fuck smashing them or crushing them. I'm gonna eat y'all. So starts with the Gump. They save his head. And he takes the sofa and eats the sofa. Then he goes after Jack. Now, this is the culmination of the chicken. So Belina is in Jack's head. She's been sitting there since they fell.
Yeah.
And his little, the little cut in jack-o'-lantern falls out. All of a sudden, you just hear her start clucking, and the Gnome King's like, what the fuck? And then you hear her just go, bark, 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 bark. And she lays the egg, and you hear it go, just spin around, comes down, falls in his throat. And
tries to pull it out real quick.
Yeah. And he freaks the fuck out. And all you hear is, poison.
Yeah. Apparently, he's allergic to eggs.
Eggs are poison to gnomes.
Yeah. This whole movie was solved by a food allergy.
And I gotta give them credit for that. They never alluded to it. All they were worried about was where's the chicken at. They didn't tell you why.
Right.
And then the fact that comes up is pretty fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So
and Belina must have known, like you didn't get a lot of character development with that particular character, but she hid in his head for a reason, because that's not how she fell out of the sky.
That's true.
And it's like, and as soon as the spy came up to find out what was going on and went back and they asked where the chicken was, I didn't see a chicken. There was no chicken.
That's true.
So by that time she was already hiding in Jack's head, and like they never explained why that happened.
That's true. That's a good point.
Or let you know until that moment that's where she was.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
So
yeah, and again,
I think she did it by design.
Yeah, things are different in Oz. Like she said in the very beginning, if this was Oz, you talking wouldn't be a big deal.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of with you by design, So anyway, Gnome King swallows the egg. His fucking eye like fucking frosts over. He just fucking dies, and everything decides to fucking crumble around him, and they manage to escape with the use of the ruby slippers. And they didn't get TikTok, so everybody got brought back except for TikTok, until everybody's like, "Hey, that Gump's got a medal on his horn."
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. Here's my thing. So the Gnome King at this point's dead.
Yep.
How did that still work? Doing the Oz thing. That shouldn't have even worked, because the game was over.
Well, maybe because now she has the ruby slippers.
God damn it, Clint.
Because
to just go along with it.
Well, I get what you're saying.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
The ruby slippers were technically how he had the power to take back everything that was stolen from him in the first place. So like all the emeralds in the Emerald City, since those basically belonged to him in the first place, and they were stolen by those the inhabitants of the Emerald City. When he got the power of the ruby slippers, which was when Dorothy left the first time floating away, in the balloon, she lost the slippers. He got them, and therefore was able to use their power.
Yep.
So now that she has the ruby slippers, it stands to reason she's using the power of that to turn this metal back into TikTok.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Makes sense. Okay. But that was just something I was like, well, how did that happen? Because the game's already over. So it's like, fuck, that shouldn't even work. But you bring up a good point with the slippers. Okay.
Yeah.
So when she wishes them out of the Gnome King's castle, she says, bring everybody back, that was turn the stone from the Gnome King. So you see everybody, the maidens that got their heads cut off, get their heads back. You see the Tin Man, whatever the Tim Woodsman, whatever the fuck that thing is, that was weird looking. The Cowardly Lion, which is fucking scary as shit. Again, all these people do not look the same. So I will tell you this, do not watch this movie and expect to see the same three motherfuckers that you saw in the original, because you will be sorely disappointed, and you will be kind of scared. So they go back to the Emerald City. Mombi's in a cage. They got the Wheelers like strung up together or something. So TikTok's fucking made out of like brass or bronze now.
They shined him up good,
Sharp
didn't they?
looking motherfucker, man. I mean,
It was
damn.
like C-3PO at the end of A New Hope.
Yes, absolutely. Wonder if George. Oh, hey, you bring up. You bring up a good one there because you said George Lucas.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so Scarecrow is back as the rightful ruler of Oz, and it's like, oh, well, you should be the Queen of Oz. So this is when you get to see the little girl that you saw at the beginning of the movie. You finally get to find out who she is. She walks up to the mirror and she's like, Dorothy, help me out. I'm like, the fuck are you talking? What?
Yeah.
What?
So again, use the power of the slippers to pull her through the mirror. So in comes Ozma.
Now that special effect was pretty good.
That looked good.
For what it was, it looked decent. It definitely looked decent. So
she reached through the mirror like she's reaching through like a pool of water. You got that shimmer, almost like the mirror scene in Prince of Darkness. Good one. Good comparison. Yeah, these effects, have survived.
Yeah. I mean, again, like you said, I mean, usually when you get the amount of budget cuts that this movie takes, I mean, you almost can't even make the movie because you're not going to make anything back.
Yeah.
And for it to still hold up now, I mean, of course, where we are now, it's no comparison. Yeah. But again, keep in mind, 1985. This was the same year Back to the Future came out.
Yeah.
Part 2, I think.
Yeah.
It was part 2. Can't remember. So yeah, I mean, for what it was, you can't beat it. So, do you find out that Ozma is the Queen of Oz? Do you actually find out that Ozma is Jack's mother because he freaks the fuck out? And yeah. So you got I can't stay. I got to go. And everybody's like, all right, send this bitch home, please. So nothing else can happen. Everybody's like, bye, get the fuck out. Bye. See you. You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool. Like, get out of here. So then you find out that this whole thing was a dream. She's laying next to the stream that she got caught up in.
Right.
And her uncle's, go for it.
No, I was going to say, it does seem like it was a dream sequence, but I love how in the end you really don't know. That they kept it kind of ambiguous, because you get another little thing at the end, with another mirror trick, where you see Ozma again. But before we jump straight to that, it's just I like how they kind of left it open-ended where you didn't really know.
Yeah.
Was this a dream? Did it happen? Is Dorothy crazy? You know what I mean? Because that question really isn't answered because her delusion started at the moment she was going to be electroshocked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And she could have received one shock. This could have been a delusion from that therapy, and which is why she didn't really remember much about escaping and how she, fell asleep when she hit the water, more or less, in that floating contraption.
And I think you bring up a good point with that is that this could have worked either way. This could have easily been, like you said, shocked her once the power goes out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she wakes up. So we'll get through it and then we'll talk about, we'll go through that. So her uncle finds her. Now I want to reiterate this. Okay. Toto finds her. Okay.
Toto found her. Yep.
This motherfucker's leg was broke. This motherfucker's leg was gone. Her uncle Henry's leg was done. He wasn't working on his house. This motherfucker sees her and absolutely chucks this fucking cane like Dorothy. Like all of a sudden, this motherfucker can sprint. Gone.
Yeah, like if he's lying, almost like Charlie's grandfather in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, fucking Willy Wonka.
Suddenly gets up out of bed. You know what I mean?
Bitch gets up, throws it away, and next thing you know, we go back to the house. That house is fucking built.
People faking people out.
Yeah, not a whole house is fucking built. Whole half of the house is done. Like now, that motherfucker had to work.
Yeah,
Annie M was gonna fucking kill him. So she wakes up. He's like, "Oh, hi, hon," and then like Clint was saying, get another mirror trick. Ozma and Belina show up in the. Well, she draws Oz on the mirror, and Ozma shows up, and then she's like, "NEM, come look at this." She's like, "No, you fucking cunt, shut up! Don't tell them." So, so she, go.
No, I was gonna say I did love how they explained that the facility had been struck by lightning.
Like, yeah.
And
sorry,
caught fire. And everybody was rescued except for the doctor. He went back in for his machine, so I guess he burned to death. You know, yeah, exactly.
Again, I'm sorry, I skipped. I meant to say that part, and I've completely.
I didn't want to skip that.
No, well, and plus,
go ahead.
Well, you see, was it Nurse Wilson?
Wilson, yeah.
Wilson.
Nurse
God damn
Wilson.
it.
Yeah.
She's being taken away.
Hauled off, you know.
Almost like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah.
You know, fucking horse and buggy and bitches in the cage. So so that's then you see Dorothy, you know, see Ozma and Belina in the mirror, and she's like, "Shut the fuck up. I'll slit your throat at night." And NEM's like, "You should go outside and play because you're fucking crazy." She goes outside, runs around, and that's it.
Yeah. So that technically, you know, if we operate under the scenario that Dorothy's crazy, you know, she at this point knows that she has to behave as though she doesn't know shit about Oz. You know, we're thinking it's all a dream, but then she sees her delusion one more time in that mirror, so we know that her psychosis has not ended, and we can open it up for another crazy ass film, you know, or you know, we can operate under the feeling that that Oz is a real place. She's the only, you know, person, you know, in the earthly realm that really knows it, you know, and she'll just have to forever pretend she doesn't know anything about it until the possibility arises that she wants to go back to Oz. And then I'm sure she'll slip through the mirror or something like that because, you know, Ozma's like, "Hey, I'll check in on you from time to time. If you ever want to come back to Oz, let me know."
That was weird,
you know,
anyway. Like,
and we'll make it happen.
Why is she checking in on me?
Yeah, exactly. Bitch. Right?
Weirdo.
You know, maybe that's her mental illness just crops up from time to time.
See, now, and that's what's cool about, but see, that's what's cool about that ending. Like you said, it's ambiguous. You don't know what
you don't know what the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point,
and it sucks that we didn't get another one, but we did get a documentary that I have not seen yet, and I want to watch it. It's it talks about this movie in greater detail.
Oh yeah,
the behind the scenes and everything like that. I gotta see if it's out yet, but it's a shame that they didn't really revisit it. They didn't revisit this, you know, this movie like a continuation. But again, it was so hard to do it because, like you said in the beginning, you know, you had, you know, problems with the budget. You had problems with you know, just things going wrong with studios, and it's like nobody wants to put themselves in that situation if they don't have to.
Yeah. And I went down a rabbit hole with this movie. I mean,
and it's a deep ass fucking hole too.
If you know, not to use an Alice in Wonderland reference, but there are dozens, if not hundreds of videos, you know, on YouTube specifically about Return to Oz. There are many things that are inspired by this. I mean, I even found a song by a band called Scissor Sister that is called Return to Oz, and they specifically reference things from this movie in their song. You go check that out. It's actually kind of cool. It's not a terrible song. It's almost like a power ballad almost.
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
We'll put the link on the page. Y'all check it out.
Yeah. And I wanted to recommend one of the most interesting videos that I looked at was called Return to Oz is an Absolute Nightmare, by a YouTube channel called In Praise of Shadows. I thought that one was really in depth, and it went further than, you know, the Oz books. It looked at the culture of the time, you know, that it was written. It looked at the life of L. Frank Baum, and it drew some interesting theories from this person's experience, you know, either, you know, growing up with the Oz books, you know, and having seen all the movies and just being a big fan of it. So this is somebody who was trying to give you like a bigger picture, for why maybe some of the decisions were made that you get in this film.
So, keep in mind too, I mean, the lore for this universe, it is insane. It is absolutely batshit crazy. And again, keep in mind, up to this point, this was 3 books that they touched on. The first one, the second one, and the third one. There's 14. And if you go and look at the synopsis for a lot of them, like the Gnome King comes back. You have other characters that show up. In fact, one of them doesn't even have Dorothy in it. I think Pip is the character's name. He kind of takes over for Dorothy in one of them.
That's the second book.
Yeah,
I believe focuses on him.
Yeah, Shaggy Man is another character that comes up quite often in the synopsis. Don't think we get to see him, but the lore is just there. It's almost like the Chronicles of Narnia or Harry Potter. That lore is so
frightening,
so deep.
Nightmarish characters. I learned that there was even a character called like Bumpy Man, which almost looked like he was so like full of like cancerous tumors that it like made his flesh lumpy. Like it literally is like the stuff of children's nightmares put into these books and illustrated.
Another thing to look up too is I was talking to a friend the other day about it. So McFarlane Toys made a toy line for, it was Dorothy in the Land of Oz. And if anybody knows McFarlane, he does Spawn, he does all kinds of crazy shit. And he put his spin on the Wizard of Oz, Land of Oz. And man, it is fucking freaky. Like Dorothy's like a psychotic hooker that's got like the Cowardly Lion on like chains, and like if you get a chance, go check it out. It's wild. It's a toy line, so it's not. It's again. And the fact that you can take these characters and like you just said, even without changing them or anything, the lore is just terrifying. Like either way, and this movie, I mean, the fact that it's a movie really pushes the envelope when it comes to like terrifying kids. And again, I want to make sure people understand this is a fucking Disney movie.
Yeah,
this is Disney. There's only one other Disney movie I know of that is this terrifying. I can't remember the name of it. Fuck.
Okay.
But it's been mentioned a couple times. But check, this one's definitely like I said at the top of the podcast. This one just it's very well done. It holds up. It's got a good story for what it is.
It's great. Even watching it now as an adult, I can tell you this is a really good film. I mean, it doesn't matter it was made in 1985. Doesn't matter if it had inconsistencies with its budget, and its effects. I mean, they still managed to make a worthwhile film that looks great. And it's a ride. It's an experience. You get the full thing here.
And it never slows down. Like you never feel like there's a slow moment. That's one thing that's really cool about it, is that as you're watching it, it's start to finish, balls to the wall. Like you're not like, oh my God, like what time is it? Like when it's over, you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
So are we putting a number on this, or are we just saying check it out? What are we doing? What do you want to do?
We put a number on it. I mean, I think critically looking at it, knowing that it's a fantasy story and it pulls from a couple of different books, they did a pretty good job of giving you a consistent story, giving you enough things that nod to the first story. If there was any inconsistencies at all, it's only if you reference it to the first film, things like you said, where she knew about the desert, but she never encountered it in the first film. So, I mean, that would be an inconsistency. If you're looking at the movies, if you're looking at source material, it's not an inconsistency. So, I mean, critically, it worked for me. I mean, I'd give it a a 3.5 out of 5. You know, I'd almost give it a 4 out of 5. And from a fun factor, this was a hell of a good time. You know, I'll max it out. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, it's really worth watching. And as creepy and freaky as it is, and probably would be for children, I'd recommend you watch it with your kids.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, totally. Good movie. What do you think?
I echo that 100%. Rating and all. Yeah, from a critical standpoint, I mean, again, unless you know this like the back of your hand, you go back and look at source material, read the books, everything. You know, it goes right with, you know, story wise. You know, if you go movie wise, of course, you know, Wizard of Oz to this. I mean, there's no comparison. It's like they're two totally different movies. But it's just done well. I think I might push it to a 4, just because this.
Sure.
This movie stuck with me for so long, and I've recommended it. I've watched it, you know, so many times that, I mean, it's just a great movie. Fun factor, Jesus Christ, if I go higher than 5, I go higher than 5. The movie's just fucking fun. I mean, the movie is out of the gate. It's fun. You almost like, and this is what's really cool about this one, almost like the first one. I can't say the first one, but the original one. You know, you care about these characters. Like, you care about what happens to them. You know, like in the first one where Scarecrow gets caught on fire. It's like, holy fuck, Scarecrow's gonna fucking die. You know, this one, you know, when you know, the Gnome King starts, you know, I'm gonna eat these motherfuckers. You're like, holy shit. Oh my God, like they're gonna die. Like, what are they gonna do? And again, it's like you care about the characters, you know, and it is a kid's movie at heart, you know, but it's not. It's a bleak fucking movie. It really is, because everywhere she turns, and this is what really separates it. Everywhere she turns, it's just bleak disparity. It's like, Jesus, you get to Emerald City, there's nothing left. It's just fucking, everybody's dead. Everybody's gone. You know, Mombi, she ain't got a fucking head. She's got 31 heads. The Gnome King, Deadly Desert. It's like everything's just there, like, to kill you. Everything's just there to just, you know, fuck your day up. So I think that's the really cool thing about going from the original. This one's on just the opposite end of the spectrum. The first one, like you said, Clint, you know, it was a musical, got turned into a holly jolly good time. This one didn't get that treatment. This one told you, buckle the fuck up, because you're in for a ride. So yeah, I mean, it's I give it a 4 out of 5 critical, 5 out of 5 fun, because it still holds up. It still holds up to this day. So yeah. So plans in the future. So let's see. It is the 25th of November. So we are going to do. Let's see. What did I say? What did I think of? Hamityville holiday horror. So we're going to get some Christmas horror movies going in the next couple weeks, days, whatever you want to do. Why don't we? Have you watched there's a movie called Christmas Evil?
No.
Have you seen it?
Haven't.
It's on Shudder. Check it out.
Yeah.
That might be the one. That might be one we do. Or give me one that I should watch, and we can review Christmas.
A holiday movie?
Sure.
Oh, fuck. I don't know if I can think of one right now.
Come on, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Just
yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
go with
y'all got your homework to do for when we do our Hamityville horror holidays. Y'all get to watch Christmas Evil. Y'all get to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night. If you haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, there's no reason why you should be part of our fucking group, because that movie's like well renowned. Christmas Evil, not so much, because it goes under another name. You better watch out. Now, one of my favorite movies, kind of like Return to Oz, that I tell everybody to watch. I love it.
Damn it.
You know where I'm going too.
Ryan's right. I should have said that.
I mean,
Santa's Sleigh.
Santa's Sleigh's good. Fuck, go figure. Deadly Games. It's a French horror movie. Fan-fucking-tastic. Just watched it last night. God damn it.
Yeah.
I love it. So,
which could have been the inspiration for Home Alone.
Yeah, I would definitely say
although it's been denied. It's been denied.
By who?
But Guy made Home Alone, obviously.
Fuck that guy.
He didn't want to pay for it.
He ain't gonna admit it. Amblin Entertainment ain't gonna give them money.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah, that's definitely inspiration for Home Alone.
Right.
Check that out.
Royalties,
right. And all these are on Shudder. That's the cool thing. So if you got Shudder, check it out. Christmas Evil I just watched. Deadly Games I just watched. I know Silent Night, Deadly Night I think is on there. I know at least 2's on there. So if you want to watch Garbage Day, that one's right there waiting for you. Santa's Slave probably on Tubi, I would say. Is that the one with Goldberg?
Yes.
Okay, just make sure I got my shit straight. Since I can't get actresses right, names right today. Sorry, Julie Andrews. You're still alive.
Yeah. I believe she is, yes.
She is alive. She's in Princess Diaries. Oh, I know that shit. I gotta edit that out. But yeah, so that is Return to Oz. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think it's on Disney Plus. I'm not sure. But I mean, you can rent it on Prime for $4. You can buy it for $10.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well worth the price of admission, without a doubt. So, yeah, guys, that's Return to Oz. And again, we kind of gave you a preview of what we're going to be doing. Movies might change up a little bit because I want to give Clint an opportunity to give me his feedback, and that way I don't just overtake the show, since he's been holding the fucking fort down since I've been a dickhead or whatever.
No, you were sick. Like ever since you were sick, I mean, you've just been, haven't been real a big part of what we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. So
we're ready to rock and roll.
I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad you're bouncing back and getting back into the swing of things. We got to hang out tomorrow night.
Yeah, man. Serial killers. Y'all better do your fucking homework, because I don't want to hear, well, that's a blank spot for me, Ryan fucking Joyner. You've had plenty of time. So get on it. And that's going to be, I'm pretty sure that's going to be, that might almost be a 3 or 4-parter. There's so many fucking serial killers, because I know damn well we can go way into the morning with that.
There's a ton. I plan on trying to pick like maybe 5.
Yeah, let's do
that. I want to talk about.
If you guys are watching that, do the hangout.
And if we don't get to them,
each one of y'all pick 5. Get 5 written down at least.
Yeah,
and we'll all talk about them tomorrow. And again, I'm sure it'll go,
because I got a couple already, and I'm gonna work on it tonight and tomorrow. The rest of the ones I want to bring up. So definitely. And hopefully I'm not duplicating anybody's.
Just get a backup. I mean, again, you got at least 75 to pick from. So
there's a lot.
There's a lot, which is really fucking sad if you think about it.
It is.
But yeah, so this is going to probably be the format for the rest of the time that we do this. We're going to do our live review. If you get a chance to check it out live, cool. If you don't, it's going to be on the channel. Clint will, Clint's going to pull the audio, make it a podcast. But yeah, this will probably be what we do. So hope you guys enjoyed it somewhat. Obviously we have people watching, so
how about that?
We got people that are commenting. So yeah, this will be how we do it. And if you guys get any ideas for us, hit us up on the group, email us, motherfuckers. I give you all email every time and nobody emails me. Just say hi. Fuck. It's there. Say hi. God damn it. Who said hey, boys?
Salem. Hi, Salem.
Hi, Salem. See, she hopped in, so boom. Yeah, guys. So like I said, check it out. Keep stay tuned to what we're doing. So because we got some pretty cool stuff coming up. In fact, December 10th, we got something really cool that
just a couple of weeks away.
I'll go over that in more detail as we get closer, so you guys can check it out. So on behalf of everyone in the group, don't let the bad ones ruin a good time. And again, Return to Oz is not a bad one. So check it out.
Yeah. And I hope you find movies that haunt you.
Later, guys.
See ya.